No. Okay. It's gonna be different every single time. You can't do the same one. All right.
I'm loving it.
And 3, 2, 1. Da 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 da. Hello and welcome to Unqualified Recommendations. I am one of your hosts, Kirk Price.
I'm another one. I'm Chad Price.
I'm another one. I'm Zach.
Gosh, you're always so slow at saying it, bro.
Yeah, could you have let a longer pause hang there, Zach?
All right, I'll wait like 20 seconds next time.
Okay, so if you are new to the podcast, what we do here is that we have a recommendations for you to give you. Yeah, kind of lost my train of thought there. So what we do is each of us brings a song or an album that we would like to recommend, as well as a video game that we would like to recommend. Sometimes we love them, sometimes we hate them, sometimes we love to hate them. After each song recommendation, we will wait a moment to give you a moment to listen to the song yourself. And then we'll come back in and we'll discuss it. And then afterwards, we'll each give it a rating, out of 10, not out of 100.
Yeah, that'd be too much. That's too much work.
So we're going to take our turns, mention our songs, and talk about it. So this will be our second episode released. We kind of have a better idea of what we're going to do now. Our plan is to have releases on a weekly basis. Now, unfortunately, we missed last week, but after that, we're going to kind of step it up a little bit. We'll be recording every week, releasing the week afterwards. And our plan is to have a 13-episode season. And starting episode 4, we will begin to have a few guests on our show and have them come in and talk about a few things as well. So expect the episodes with guests to be a little bit longer whenever we get to those. I think that's it for our intro. So, Zach, why don't you start us off with your song recommendation today?
What?
Yeah, that's right. Step up.
My song recommendation, Toxic Paradise by Oliver Francis.
Toxic Paradise. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Why do you like it, Zach?
Because it's a nice beach.
Shut up, bro. Everyone gets it at this point. You said Oliver Francis, right?
Yeah.
I really thought you were going to say Oliver Tree at first, but I'm a little bit disappointed.
Man, I should have.
So besides it being a beach song, Zach, why do you like it?
Man, this is the part I hate. I don't know how to describe why I like these songs.
Why do we even have you here?
I'm convinced
I don't
Zach's
know.
a
You
serial
asked
killer.
me to be.
I don't think Zach feels.
I don't
Zach has
feel.
no true feelings.
I have no emotions.
Okay.
It just equals a part of my brain.
Okay. So I guess we're going to go ahead and take
right
a listen
side.
to Toxic Paradise. So you know how earlier we were talking about how Zach has like no emotions?
Yeah.
That's like literally what the song is about. Zach, I think I know why it's your favorite, bro.
It just tickles that part of my brain. The serial killer part.
Zach, I got to tell you a secret. I did not like
You
the
hate the
song.
song?
I didn't like it at all.
I don't
know
like
what it was.
the first bit of it, but
Mhm.
after the first bit, that's the part that I enjoy. All the rest of it.
I just feel like it's like one of the most basic songs I've ever heard in my life, if that makes sense.
So I will say that for this song coming out in what looks like 2021, it is a very early 2000s song.
Honestly, yeah, it sounds like what are they called? Maroon 5 made this song.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But it just follows that classic, you have like your basic chorus. You've got you start with two verses, go into a chorus, verse, chorus, little bit of a mix up here, chorus.
Yeah.
That's like the basic song formula for the 2000s.
Yeah.
Not to say it's bad. I think that this is probably the one I enjoy the most out of your recommendations so far, Zach. I think that it has to do with one part I liked is that they managed silence well.
Oh, yeah.
Which you
Yeah,
know,
the breakdown part.
yeah,
I agree.
I think they did that part really, really well.
Yeah.
I think that a few other things they did well was, you know, kind of like keeping a beat throughout, but also changing it up enough to where it doesn't become super repetitive. Now, gotta say, towards the end, whenever they repeated the chorus, I was like, okay, yeah, and I get it.
Yeah.
We're repeating the chorus now. Let's go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think that's when it started to like really wear on me because it felt like it was just really, really repetitive. Just, I don't know. I just think the chorus was not unique enough for me to consider it like good. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the lyrics are pretty good. I mean, I see some original stuff in here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not basic. The chorus is basic, but I mean, I don't think the lyrics are basic.
Yeah, I think the chorus was the main reason why I didn't like it because like I feel like it had big potential. Like it wasn't a bad song. I don't want to like dish on it. Like it wasn't a bad song. It was just like it felt very underwhelming. If that makes sense. I'm sorry, Zach. We are going in on your song, bro.
Yeah,
we are just roasting the shit out of it.
your song is bad, and you should feel bad. No,
what did you think, Zach? Defend it at least. Come on.
What?
Defend it.
Yeah, defend it. Come on. I want to know why
I
it
can't
tickles that part
defend
of your brain.
You can't defend it.
I can't defend the lyrics.
You can't?
Man,
No, the part that really tickles my brain is just the beat.
the beat.
Yeah,
It sounded like I could play Geometry Dash to it.
yeah.
Exactly. I don't know.
You, probably when he first started, he's sitting there playing Geometry Dash and it just came on in the background.
Yeah.
Playing one of the
perfect.
custom maps with like custom music.
Dude. You know, I actually genuinely could see that on Geometry Dash.
All right, so Zach, what's your rating for it?
I guess 6 out of 10.
I would agree. I would give it a 6 out of 10.
Really?
I think I would go back and listen
Yeah,
to
it's
this
gonna
song.
be like a 1 out of 10.
I was thinking like a 3.5. I didn't like it. I don't know.
Oh,
I think it's marginally because like that's literally all that I heard growing up, you know? But like now I actually know what I like to listen to and it's not that at all. At all. So
Yeah, I guess
I
it's
like
a little bit nostalgic.
some of these.
Got a sound to it. What were you saying, Zach?
Yeah.
I like some of these songs. Some of them overdo it, but this one, I don't know. I don't think it overdoes it a little bit.
I genuinely was surprised when I looked up at the release date as 2021. Like I seriously thought that this was like an early 2000s song. Like it just fits perfectly with that time frame.
Yeah, I thought it was like, I didn't think it was like early 2000s, but when I first heard it, I was like, damn, this had to have come out in like 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Honestly.
All right, Chad, what's your song? What you got for us?
I am recommending Romantic Homicide by David. Now, I showed Kirk. What'd you say, Zach? So I showed Kirk another one of his songs yesterday, Here With Me, because that one's kind of like popping off right now. And Kirk really liked it. He has a very unique style. But the main reason why I want to recommend this so much is because I love the fact that he originally started making music so he could put it over his Fortnite compilations. And
What?
Yeah, that's why he started making music. And then on top of that, what I really like about this is the fact that he made this song in his little sister's closet on his phone. That's how he made it. So, with all that said, let's go ahead and listen to Romantic Homicide.
Judge it so harsh.
All right, Zach, what did you think?
Honestly, I can't hit on it too much because every time I hear this song come on, it's honestly a 10 out of 10 in your feels song. I don't see like anything wrong with this song.
What do you give it? Like, do you genuinely give it a 10 out of 10? Is that like actually how you feel?
Yes.
Let's go. What do you think, Kirk?
Yeah, it's not a bad song.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's definitely got the feel there. It's not one you listen to for the music.
Yeah.
It's there for the lyrics.
Yeah.
And I think he did a good job of expressing the emotion that he was trying to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Which from what I gathered from it is that, you know, he's in kind of like a toxic relationship, waiting for someone to show up in the relationship, say, hey, I care about you.
Mm-hmm.
but it's not happening. So he's just, like you said, he's killing his emotions for them so he can more easily let go.
Yeah.
And move on.
Kirk, you want to know something funny?
What?
He's never been in a relationship.
Well, just because he's never been in an official relationship doesn't mean he's never felt something for someone.
Yeah. But what I think is interesting. What'd you say, Zach?
Did you say he made this one in a closet?
Yeah, in his little sister's closet.
Because this is like an amazing song for being made in a closet.
Yeah. Well,
don't you make your songs in a closet too, Chad?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but you got like a setup. He did it in a closet on his phone.
Yeah, he did it in a closet on his phone with the Apple earbuds. No professional microphone setup like I have or anything like that. Just on his Apple headphones.
Well, it helps when you have a really good voice.
Yeah. He's got a really good voice, and I think he pitches up his voice when he like records, but I still think it has like a really, really good texture, if that makes sense. Like his voice still has a really good texture.
He doesn't overdo it.
Yeah. So it still sounds natural. Like when I first listened to it, I thought like it was like just like a probably like a short white guy was the vision that I had of this person when I first listened to his music. But he's like he looks like he played football. Chad? You know what I mean? Like he looks like he a black guy who would just destroy me in football. So that surprised me. Yeah,
he has that kind of voice we were talking about last week with Chad's. It kind of like a lilting, kind of sort of like lazy, going
lazy
through
voice,
the music.
I
but
think
he also has. What?
The Zach's song was the one with like the lazy singing.
Yeah.
With the kazoo at the end.
Yeah, he has a little bit of that, but he has a very clear and precise tone.
Yeah.
And so he's able to hit them and hold them out and just very accurately hit the notes exactly where they need to be.
Yeah.
Which, it's really impressive.
Yeah. He's really good. And also, originally, he wasn't going to release any of his music. Like, he was literally just going to use them for his Fortnite compilations, right? But his mom pressured him into releasing them, which I think is awesome. Like, none of us would be listening to it right now if his mom didn't tell him to release them and reach out to a label.
What were you going to say, Zach?
I was going to say, it's also crazy, like, how much he, I forgot the word now. Like how much he portrayed, I don't know if that's the right word or not, in such a short amount of time. The song is 2 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like he portrayed that emotion really easily within like such a short amount of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, David, all of his music, recommend 100%. What do you guys give it?
I would give it a 7 out of 10. 7?
All right. Let's go. That's the highest score that Kirk's given in any of the songs so far, except for his own.
What about you, Chin?
I honestly, I do give it a 10. Like I can listen to that at any moment, at any time, and I would still just like it just like drags down my emotions, but in a good way. Like it just puts you in that state of mind so easily. And I don't think that there's any other song that can do that. Like a lot of people love Billie Eilish because she can do like the same thing. But for me, I don't know what it is. None of her music has ever done that for me, but he just nailed it easily. So,
all right. Well, I guess it's my turn. So I am actually recommending an album today. So I'm recommending the album If I Was by the Staves. The Staves are a group of it's 3 sisters. It's Emily, who does vocals and synths, Jessica, vocals, guitar, and keyboards, and Camilla, vocals, guitar, and ukulele. They've been making music together since they were children, growing up in Watford, England. They grew up listening to Simon and Garfunkel, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and the Beatles. So they are well-versed in singing a 3-part harmony that came pretty naturally to them.
I'm sorry, Kirk, but these are the most British people on planet Earth. They look so British.
Anyways, so they released their first full-length album, Dead and Born and Grown, in 2012, after which they toured the world and opened for many bands like Florence and Machine and Bon Iver. And while with Bon Iver, they formed a bond with Justin Vernon. If you're unaware who Justin Vernon is, he's a very talented musician, producer, singer, sampler, everything else you can think of involving music. Vernon invited them to his studio where they released the critically acclaimed album If I Was in 2015.
Okay, cool.
I'm recommending the whole album, but I think I would like us to focus on Make It Holy and Hopeless. Make It Holy because it's probably the best song in the album, and Hopeless because it highlights their talented singing and harmony.
Okay. Are we going to listen to both?
Yes, please.
Okay, bet. I'm going to start with Make It Holy. Let's go ahead and listen to it.
All right. So we just finished listening to Make It Holy. What are your thoughts, Chad?
So we didn't explain this very well when this actually happened, but what ended up happening was my PC ended up falling asleep while we were recording, so we had to make up for some of it by going back over it. So here it is. What I was saying when it cut out is like, I really don't like songs that give me that vibe of like, I can make you want me, make you need me, like that kind of thing. It attacks my independence as a person. I don't understand why. It always has and it always will. And I just really, really hate those kinds of songs. And it just like, and another thing that really bothered me is I hate songs that sound like I could make them in 5 minutes. And this is one of those songs that I think I can make in 5 minutes. And it frustrates me because like, for me, I am like at one of the lowest points economically in my entire life. I have no sort of income whatsoever right now. And the fact that these people are making millions of dollars upsets me because I can make something more artistically unique and spend just as much time on it. And that's why I hate it so much.
All right. Well, so I have 3 issues.
Okay.
Okay. First off, like I said before the thing started cutting off, I think you're missing the point of the lyrics. Mm-hmm. I think that it's more focusing on if you wanted me to do these things for you, I could. Mm-hmm. I could do these things for you, but it doesn't seem like you want me to. Mm-hmm. And so I want to do these things for you, but you don't want me to, so I'm not going to. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what the lyrics are saying to me. The next thing is, I hear what you're saying about you feel like you can make it by yourself, but if you did yourself, you wouldn't sound like them.
I'd sound better.
And you always you do tend to have this. My headset just cut off.
Yeah, it's definitely just like the way that it's going through the headphones. I don't know.
Yeah, just a second. You tend to have this idea in your head that you can do almost anything better than anyone else.
Yeah, because I can.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you think you could beat Asu in Apex Legends, which you definitely cannot.
They are taking out a lot of
with an R99.
No, yes, with an R99 1v1, I would beat Asu.
You still wouldn't be able to.
I still would. Anyways, I definitely could make a better song than them in the same amount of time as them, and they are making it, but I'm not, and that's what upsets me.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
I definitely could. After listening to that was the most basic song I've ever heard in my life. The only thing was the guitar, maybe piano. It sounded like a harp at some point, and then the most basic drum pattern I've ever heard in my entire life.
First off, it's all live.
It's all live?
Yeah, they're not like kits or something. You know, they're there playing these instruments and they're recording.
Well, yeah, I understand that. There's a difference between live and
okay, so it's actually recorded.
Okay,
it's not a kit. Okay, and I don't think you could pull off the harmonies that they're doing. You know, they're very tight knit harmonies. I think that the only people that can pull off harmonies like that are people that have been singing together for a very, very long time.
Zach said me.
And siblings. Because siblings have the same way of saying words.
Yeah.
And the same vocal tendencies.
I don't think that's true.
It's very true.
Wildly different from me.
If you grow up in the same house, then you tend to say things the same way.
Okay, so right. Okay, so I agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, I could still make that song in 5 minutes. It's
I don't
like
think
it's,
you could though.
okay, not actually 5 minutes. Okay, that's me over exaggerating. But either way, I really don't like the fact that the song was so incredibly simplistic that I feel like I could do it in like the lightest of conditions.
There's nothing
It's
wrong
just like-
with simple songs.
There's nothing wrong with simple songs.
The song that
But when-
you proposed, or that you recommended today, was simple.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
it
your
was.
song is definitely simple,
It was
Chad.
definitely. He made it in someone's closet, Chad.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, it's a simple song.
But anyways, this song I just really didn't like it, and I also just I don't know what it was. All of it just did not jive with me at all. I would have skipped the song if it came up. 100%. I
Zach,
would have
what do
changed the
you
radio
think?
station.
What'd you say, Kirk?
What do you think?
Like you said earlier, it gave off like the vibes. Like Chad definitely got the wrong understanding for this. Chad is like so far.
Chad felt like the song attacked his ego, and
It
he just
did.
got defensive.
Yeah,
Yeah, it did.
this song would not be good if it wasn't like simple like it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think the simplicity highlights the vocals, and the
Yeah.
vocals and their singing is the main show. Like that's what you're listening to them for. You're listening for that tight, harmony that they have and their smooth singing.
I know what it is. Chad is just upset because there's 3 British people that are singing better than him.
Oh man, I just want just so you know,
Typical American.
I sent
Yeah.
the picture on their Spotify to Zach and said, just look at the picture. They legitimately are the most British people I've ever. They chose to not show their teeth because they know that they're fucked.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
First off, they're not. I've seen them. Second off, I understand where you might get that from, but these are definitely not the most British people. I will send you pictures of the most British people.
They just look
These are
so
not-
British.
I don't know. One of them kind
I
of
mean,
looks German
this,
to me.
this looks like a photo I could see of like some girls that live here. Like 100%.
I'd
Long,
still say they look British.
long dark hair, same poses, everything.
Yeah.
Anyways, so let's just go ahead and listen to the next song real quick.
What was the next song called?
Next song is Hopeless, which is on the same album. All right, so the reason why I wanted to recommend this song as well is, first off, I didn't realize it was on the deluxe one, but not on the regular one. So that's my bad. Sorry about that. But the reason why I want to recommend this one is because this one really exemplifies their ability to harmonize together and sing together in like very interesting ways. So, what do you think, Jen?
First of
Better
all,
than the last song.
first of all, I kind of agree. They do harmonize better. Second of all, Kirk, this is just a haiku. You recommended a haiku, not a
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, it's this gave me like play this at my funeral vibes. Like it sounds like a funeral song. Like you go to a church, they all get like their main singers together and they sing a harmony on top of this one song that's already like a Christian song. That's what that
like
made me think of. I hear this at a
9
funeral, but
lines.
nowhere else. I don't hear it playing in my car ever.
So this album is not one that you listen to when you want to vibe. Okay, it's not one that you listen to when you want to get excited about anything or pumped up. This is a
Trash.
sit there.
This is not one I listen to in
Trash
general.
album. That's what it is. It's a trash album.
The other song was kind of good, but
This is an album that you sit there and you listen to and you kind of like relax, listen to the vocals, and just kind of float through it. It's not. There's nothing that's super hard hitting. There are a few songs that do pick up the beat a little bit and have a bit more of a stronger instrumental showing. But yeah, what were you gonna say, Zach?
I was just say I kind of disagree with Chad where this is a song you only hear at a funeral. I could imagine opening up the doors to some rich dude's huge mansion in this song.
Okay, I can see this as like the opening to a Kanye song, but that's about as far as this one goes. Like I just like, I don't know. I just don't like their style, I guess. I'm gonna have to like join like Twitter people who just hate the staves. Like they're my people now. No, I got a really bad impression of them. I don't like their stuff so far. I give the previous song like a 2 out of 10, and I give this one like a 4 out of 10.
What about you, Zach?
I give the previous one like a 5 out of 10, but this one is like a 3 out of 10.
I would give the previous one, probably an 8 out of 10, and the second one
biased.
probably a 7 out of 10. Well, I really enjoy the song, and I think that comparatively to the two of y'all, I think that I, on average, listen to slower songs.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I feel like I can enjoy this more than y'all.
I mean, it's not like I hate the fact that it's slow. I just think they're basic.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that. I don't like how incredibly basic they are.
All right. Now that Chad has just completely trashed the staves, let's move on to our video game recommendations. Let's go ahead and start with Chad. What is your video game recommendation?
I think we should start with Zach because I forgot mine. Hold on.
Okay. Zach. Zach, what's your video game recommendation?
My video game recommendation, honestly, I'm not sure if somebody already recommended this or not. I probably should have checked beforehand, but I do have a backup. Devour.
No, neither one of us have recommended it.
All right.
Dude, Devour is crazy.
They just released a new map today.
Oh, they did? We're playing.
It's called the Slaughterhouse.
Uh-huh. Have you played it yet? Is it good?
I have not played it yet, but I've seen the trailer for it, and it looks like it is a 10 out of 10 map.
Nice.
Okay, well, for people who haven't played Devour, y'all should describe what the game is about.
Yeah. So it's I wouldn't describe it as the best looking game, but it is definitely.
It looks like it was made for the PS2.
Yeah.
It's a pretty ugly game.
Definitely not the best looking, but it is a great like late night play with your friends. Maybe shit your pants a couple times.
Yeah. It's one of those stress testing games. So basically, you're put into this situation where you're constantly being chased around by this monster, right? And you have to sacrifice something to get rid of that monster. And the more that you sacrifice, the more aggressive that monster becomes. That's like the basic explanation of the game.
Great team building skill.
Oh yeah, it's definitely great for team. They should put this in like football teams and things like that. They would become instant best friends.
All right, we're not practicing today. Everybody sit down and play this game.
Yeah.
I think my complaint about I've played Devour with these two guys. They go very try hard on these games.
Yeah.
I think that my problem with it is that it's basically the same thing over and over again, but at different maps. And
yeah.
I don't understand they have different maps, but I don't think there's enough variation between the maps to warrant me going through and playing all of them.
But okay, the reason why I disagree with that is like each monster acts in a very separate way. Like for example, the one before the latest update that Zach was just talking about, there's one where he's like a gunslinging like hillbilly, and he is the hardest one to play against in the entire game. Like it is incredibly difficult, and it's honestly one of those games where the longer you play, the more challenging it becomes. But the challenge feels like it's kind of like the Souls games. When you beat the boss, you are so happy that you just beat it. You know, you get that incredible satisfaction feeling. You get that with Devour too. What do you think, Zach? You agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
because we spent like hours
days
perfecting our speed running skills.
Yeah. we literally built like an entire like system. So like if we drop our sacrifice, how do we like get it back? Like that whole thing. Like we are definitely tryhards at the game.
I'm not. I'm just there for the ride.
Yeah. Kirk just gets downed over and over again and gets upset with us because we don't res him.
That is not true. Okay,
is true.
The last time we played, I was the last one alive. Okay, Y'all don't remember that?
No.
The last time we played, I was the last one alive, and I burned the last thing, and I won it for us. Okay,
Nice. Yeah, no, Zach and I have played it a lot since the last time that we all played together. Because Chloe has played it with us quite a bit too. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah.
So, what do you guys rate the game?
10. All across the board is the 10.
Oh yeah.
Not every game can be a 10, Chad.
No, it's a 10. It's a 10, Kirk.
This one is a 10.
This one's definitely a 10.
I would rate it a 5 just because it's a good multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Not a bad rating.
I do not think it's a good game if you're playing by yourself.
Yeah, no. If you
At
play
all.
by yourself, it's torture.
No.
Don't play it by yourself at all.
Okay, Chad.
So my game is actually Batman Arkham Origins.
Oh.
And the main reason why I'm recommending this one is because everyone hates on Arkham Origins, but it's actually genuinely really, really good. Like if you played all the Arkham games, it actually completely like, oh my God, my headphones just turned off. It completely like feels like it fits into the game, you know? So I feel like it's justified being there. But a lot of people hate it because like it's the game after Joker died, I think. Yeah, it's the game after Joker dies in the Arkham games. So people are like, okay, well, they're done with the Joker. What are they going to do now? Then they release Arkham Origins, and the main bad guy in that one is Joker. And I think that's the main reason why people ended up not liking it when it came out. But it's a really solid game. And I think it gets way too much hate for how solid it is, you know?
So what you're saying, it has a Last of Us 2 problem?
No, because Last of Us 2 is bad. So,
But Last of Us 2 is like a good 5 out of 10 game.
it's more like a 4 or so. The problem with Last of Us 2 isn't like what you think the problem is. The problem is that the first one has a theme of hopefulness, and the second one has a theme of hopelessness, which isn't a bad thing. It's just like it completely goes backwards on what the series is supposed to be about. And I think that's the main reason why a lot of people hate it, including me.
I think we'll come back to that discussion whenever I recommend Last of Us 2. Okay, so if you had to compare the Arkham games, where would Origins land on that list?
Okay, so there's 4 of them total, right? I would put Arkham Origins at the second to last.
What's your first?
My last.
Or yeah, what's your whole order?
So in order, the worst one in my opinion is Arkham Knight. Origins is after that, and then Arkham Asylum, then Arkham City is the best one in my opinion.
Now, see, you say that you think Origins gets too much, crap.
Yeah.
But I think that just about everyone who's played all the games would rank them in the same order.
As what I did? Yeah.
Yes. So it's not just that it's not that it's bad, it's just it's not as good as the other ones.
Asylum and Origins.
Yeah. Or Asylum and
Yeah. I don't think that most people would though, because everyone that I've watched like reviews on the games, and almost everyone has put Origins at the bottom. There's this one guy that I watch. A shout out to him. His name is, I suddenly can't remember it, man. I had it. I just completely lost it.
Good shout out.
Yeah. Anyways, he actually thinks that Origins is the best one, and like, I mean, I agree that it's genuinely significantly better than what people give it. Like, because like everyone when it first came out, and even to this day, still hates Origins. And like. The thing is, like, you can't compete with Arkham City. Batman Arkham City is one of the best games that has ever come out, ever. So, like, it's not even, like, a fair comparison, I feel like, because now at this point, people are coming from one of the best games in the world to have ever existed to now playing what would be still an above-average game. You know what I mean? So, like, realistically, I still think it's better than majority of every... like single player game. Definitely better than Cyberpunk, that's for sure.
You and I have talked about this before, Chad, but I genuinely believe that the thing that makes an open world RPG game elevated above other open world RPG games
when you're playing a character
is when you're playing a character and
you're not playing yourself.
You can't make a character.
Yeah.
because The Witcher, Zelda, Batman, Arkham City, they're all characters that get made for you. You're playing as that character.
Yeah.
And it gets you more, you can tell more of a realistic story because these are things that are happening to a person, not just some random character that you made.
Yeah. I wouldn't really call the Arkham games RPGs though. I would maybe open sim maybe, but I wouldn't call them RPGs.
I mean,
I don't know.
I think it falls underneath an RPG category.
I don't know, because you're not really like. I feel like one of the main things that comes to like an RPG is like collecting things and like building up your character. Does that make sense?
You do that, and
So
those aren't really telltale signs of an RPG. Like an RPG stands for like a role playing game.
Would you consider the Telltale games RPGs?
No, I think that those fall underneath their own category. I think that those are almost like point and click adventures.
Honestly, yeah. Okay, so would you call Spider-Man an RPG? The new Spider-Man games?
Yes.
What about Spider-Man 2? That came out on the PS2.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like they have their own category too. I don't know. I just when I hear RPG, I think of like Witcher, Skyrim, Fallout, that kind of stuff. I don't really think of like Batman, Spider-Man, even like Infamous, Second Son, like those kinds of games. I wouldn't consider them RPGs, but
well, okay.
So, have you guys played it?
Yes.
You've played Origins?
For a little bit.
Bit?
I have played every single Arkham game. I have not finished a single one.
Really? Like not even like the main story? Dude.
The thing is that every time I've played them, it's been at someone else's house. I don't own them. So yeah, that's how I've played all of them.
Yeah. Arkham Asylum, I feel like Arkham Asylum has such a good atmosphere that it just sucks you into the game so heavily, so fast. Like when you play stuff like Cyberpunk or The Witcher 3, I feel like those games suck you into the world so quickly, and I think that's another strength of the Arkham games is they just it feels so natural, even though it's completely different from what we live in,
I think that's why Arkham City is like such a good game, because Arkham Asylum was already like a 10 out of 10, and they pretty much just took that and made it a bigger map.
Yeah. And then on top of that, they also, like, in my opinion, I think Arkham Origins, Arkham City, I think has the best story out of all of them because the ending just hits so hard.
Yeah.
From what I remember of the games, another thing that really made them fun is their world felt alive.
Yeah.
There wasn't like giant gaps in it where there's just like, okay, well, I've got about, a kilometer to the next objective. There's nothing between me and there. I'm just like going between everything.
Yeah, there's always something going on.
Yeah.
Except for Arkham Asylum when you beat the game. When you beat the main story, nothing ever happens. It's just an empty like soundscape. It's weird.
Arkham Knight, when you beat the game, you get to look forward to collecting all the Riddler trophies.
Dude, Arkham Knight. Oh my God, dude. Never will I ever go for all the Riddler trophies on that game. How many are there, Zach? Do you remember?
I don't. I swear
I think
it was
like
3,000.
No, I'm pretty sure it's in the thousands, Zach. Is it?
I don't think it is. I think it's a lot.
It's definitely a lot. I don't know. I for some reason, I remember it being in the thousands, but I have no idea. Anyways, so Arkham Origins, good game. I genuinely give it like an 8.5 out of 10.
What about you, Zach?
Yeah, I'd give it like an 8.
8?
I'd give it a 7.
Yeah.
7 out of 10.
I played a little bit of it. 7.
All right, so my video game recommendation is a game that neither Zach nor Chad have played. It is Slay the Spire.
Boring. I'm just kidding. I know nothing about it.
It is was developed.
43 trophies.
It was developed and published by Megacrit Games. The Steam store description is, we fused card games and roguelikes together to make the best single-player deck builder we could. Craft a unique deck, encounter bizarre creatures, discover relics of immense power, and slay the spire. So, this game will appeal to you if you like Magic the Gathering, and if you like strategy games, and if you like roguelites. I would say that it falls more underneath a roguelite than a roguelike, because there is a decent amount of progression that you can have. So basically what it is that you start out with a basic deck of 10 to 12 cards, and there's 4 different characters you can play as, and they each have their own sets of cards. As you progress and defeat enemies, which the map is randomly generated every single time, you go from room to room, and as you defeat those enemies, you get rewards. Like you can pick another card to add to your deck. You can get money, or you get a potion. You use that money at a shop to get more cards, or remove a card if your deck is too big. And the game can get really, really challenging, because once you beat it for the first time, you unlock Ascension Mode, which is a scale of 1 to 20, and you have to beat it on that Ascension Mode to unlock the next one. And every Ascension Mode, it gets harder and harder and harder.
Okay, so Kirk, we both know that I hate card games because I find them incredibly boring, right? Try and sell me on this one. What would you do for like people who don't normally go around the card game like crowd? Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, not everything is for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, but the problem for you is that you also do not like roguelike games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, to be fair, some of them are like I didn't like Risk of Rain because it felt too easy. Like that was my main reason why I didn't like Risk of Rain. Like it just didn't feel like there was enough pressure to stay alive in that game.
Well, every time that we went up to the harder difficulty, you and Zach both died on the first level.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is like I feel like there's not enough of a big risk if you die. Like it does, you know. Like you said, like there's progression in the Slay the Spire. You know.
Yeah. So every time that you play the game, no matter how far you get, you get experience points. So you could die in the first room, you would still get experience points, and those experience points go towards unlocking more cards that you could see in the future.
Yeah.
And as you play with them, you can unlock the different characters, and every single character has a very, very different play style.
Are you talking about Risk of Rain now or Slay the Spire?
Slay the Spire.
Okay.
So you've got the Ironclad. He's basic, hit them and block. You've got the Silent, which is she deals poison, and she can do like chip damage. Like she got Shiv cards, which do like a little amounts of damage, but you can get a lot of them. And then you have the Defect, which is basically a robot, but you can charge different types of orbs that do different abilities. Like one gives you more energy, one deals damage, one blocks, and one like builds up damage over time. And the last one is the Watcher, which kind of changes between forms. So she can have a defensive form and an aggressive form. In the defensive form, you get energy when you move out of the defensive form. In the aggressive form, you do double damage, but you take double damage.
Okay. So now sell it to me.
Yeah, we're at the longest selling point.
Okay. It gives you a lot of rewards. There is a lot of progression. I don't know how else to sell it for you. I mean, that's what I think a lot of roguelite games get wrong. Is when you play, you don't always feel like you're making any progress.
Yeah.
Like if you die in the first room, what did you just get?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You just lost in-game nothing.
Yeah, you just spent like 5 minutes playing the game and you didn't get anything from it.
Yeah.
I think that's something that Slay the Spire does really well. I think another thing that the Slay the Spire does really well is that it does combos really well. You can get relics and cards, and you can do these things called endless combos, where if you get a certain amount of cards, you can just play them over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of fun. And it kind of triggers that part of your brain, like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna destroy this guy now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Every time, because like we've talked about Slay the Spire a couple times. I think I've seen you play it and been like looked at it, seen what it is. Honestly, I genuinely might give it a try. Like the way that you're describing it, I mean, it does sound like you said, you know, progression is what really matters to me in games. So if it's something that if I feel like I'm actually getting towards something, then I might enjoy it, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they've released it yet, but they were working on an iOS version. They do have an Android version. It is on every single game system, and it's on Steam.
Okay.
So it is fairly cheap. It is not a $60 game.
How much is it?
I think it's $15 maybe. And it goes on sale pretty often.
It's like $15 too much for Chad.
Yeah. Well,
so what do you think about it, Zach?
Oh, I'm looking at the pictures.
Zach's gonna
It
shit
looks
on
like-
it.
No, I'm not gonna shit on it because it actually looks like it might be a little fun. I was gonna say I'm looking at the pictures and it looks like the one card game that Kirk was working on a while ago was heavily inspired by this.
Yes, it is.
Just like the way everything is laid out.
Yes, it is very inspired by it. But there are some things that I felt like I could improve on and make things more interesting. Like I think that the thing that Slay the Spire lacks is there's basically no story. There's no story. There's
At all?
lore,
Yeah.
Kind of,
You
you
know.
just go in
like-
and
but there's no story.
Okay.
So I think that's something that I wanted to improve upon, and that's why I was trying to make a game that was similar to it. All right. So having not played it at all, Chad, what do you rate it?
Like a 2.
Zach, having looked at the
like
Steam
a
page,
0.5.
okay, I
give
would
it like a
genuinely
5.
rate this game, and I think that even if I wasn't as biased as I am, I would still rate it at least an 8 out of 10. But having played it and put so many hours into it, I would bump it up to probably a 10 out of 10. I think it's a great game, and I think that you can put a lot of time into it and do a lot of stuff. One other thing, one caveat I should say: you cannot sync your profiles over devices.
Oh.
So just keep that in mind if you're thinking, I could play it on my phone and then continue picking up where I left off on my computer. Can't really do that. Sorry.
That sucks.
So that is our games and our songs that we'd like to recommend to everyone.
Thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you so much. Hopefully this will come out on this following Wednesday, and we'll keep releasing on Wednesday mornings after that. If y'all would like to get some more information, in the future, we'll be having some socials that I can plug here at the end of the podcast.
Ooh, we should start plugging our socials. I didn't think about that. Hey guys, look up Let Pitch
I'm not
Cook.
plugging my socials.
Look up Let Pitch Cook on Instagram. It's all one word, all lowercase. Let Pitch Cook. It's a great Instagram name. Anyways, you're saying?
So we are building our audience. So if you like the podcast, please share it around. If you don't like the podcast, I don't really care. And I think that's all I got for today. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.